Hi, I'm Kansas Secretary of State Kris Kobach, and one of my main accomplishments in office over the past 4 years has been the Secure and Fair Elections Act, which I drafted in 2011 and the legislature passed. And with that act, Kansas became the first state in America to combine three things: photo ID at the polls, equivalent security for mail-in ballots, and proof of citizenship when you register to vote. And that made Kansas #1 in the country in terms of securing the vote for citizens. And other states have followed us. Alabama, Pennsylvania are a number of the states that have copied the Kansas model in one respect or another. And Kansas is really out there demonstrating that with reasonable steps you can make it easy to vote but hard to cheat. And Kansas will continue to be a leader in that effort if I'm reelected as Secretary of State. There's a real distinction between me and my opponent on this issue. She does not like our proof of citizenship requirement and would like to go back to the old system where all you had to do was check a box and sign your name. But of course we know that many aliens became registered on our voter rolls, and a significant number of them voted after becoming registered. So that is not something I'd like to see. We have to make sure that only U.S. citizens are permitted to vote, because every time an alien votes, it effectively cancels out the vote of a U.S. citizen. And that's particularly important in close races, and we have a lot of them in Kansas where the margin of victory is 5 votes or less. If you have a handful of alien votes mixed in with the votes of U.S. citizens, it can effectively steal the election. One of the other things the Secretary of State's office does is business services. We are the agency that you come to when you are starting a business in Kansas. And one of my objectives when I became Secretary of State was to make Kansas the most business-friendly state in America. And so what we did is we cut red tape. For example, one of the things we did is when you're filling out the form online to start your business, a lot of applications were being rejected because they didn't use exactly the right word. Well, we changed the software so the applications are no longer rejected. We also created the Kansas Business Center, a one-stop shop, so you don't have to go to multiple agencies. You can do it all on one place online and start your business without having to go to multiple agencies in person. I think that's really important because more and more Americans, more and more Kansans are working at home, and you want to make that as painless and easy as possible. Get government out of the way. And the results are already showing. In 2013, in that calendar year, we had a record number of new businesses formed in the state of Kansas, about 15,500. That's a great achievement, and I think that a lot of it has to do with the fact that A, we've got a good business climate here, but B, if you do want to form a business in Kansas, it's really easy to do. And that's going to continue to be another priority of mine, making Kansas as business-friendly as possible. Now, in closing, you might think, wow, we've done a lot in 4 years. That must have cost a lot of money. But actually, I've shown that you can do a lot as Secretary of State, but you don't have to spend a lot. As a matter of fact, we have held my agency's budget to below 2010 levels, saving taxpayers millions of dollars. So while the rest of government continues to grow each year, year after year, in the Secretary of State's office, we're actually cutting the budget. Not cutting the rate of growth, but actually cutting the number of dollars spent. Hey, if American households, Kansas households have to tighten the belt, so too should government agencies. And that's the way I run things at the Secretary of State's office. We're going to continue to do more for less so that the Kansas taxpayer can see the savings. We do not need government to grow, but we can do more for less, and I think we've shown that with the most secure elections in America, and we're well on our way to becoming the most business-friendly state in America too. So I'd appreciate your vote for Secretary of State. Again, my name is Kris Kobach, and I thank you for having the opportunity and the honor to serve as your Secretary of State.